Hi, everybody. Welcome to Essential Oils for Love. My name is Amanda Brumel, for those of you that don't know me. I am a certified holistic health counselor, and I trained at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I graduated in 2006, and at the time, that institute was primarily based in New York City, and it was an in-person program. But now they have expanded to global possibilities by making it online. So thank you for those of you who are joining. We are getting started with our webinar. And if you could just keep yourself on mute, that would be great. So this is recorded, so those of you will be watching after the fact. So I got introduced to essential oils many years ago, but had only really used them for calming. I would use maybe some lavender at night on my pillow or a little bit of lavender in my bath. But really never understood the full possibilities of essential oils. And so about 2 years ago, I was introduced to therapeutic grade essential oils, and my whole world kind of exploded with possibilities. I never really understood how deeply they could affect us in a therapeutic way. And so I was also sort of shocked that I didn't get any education about essential oils in my health counseling school. So, I mean, if I'd only known about this 10 years ago, I could have been incorporating it with clients for the last 10 years. I feel very excited and grateful that I get to share this information with you today. This obviously is specifically for love and just in time for Valentine's Day. So whether you have a partner or you're single, we can all use some love, some self-love, some partner love, intimate love, friendship love, whatever love you want to cultivate in your life. We have some suggestions for you that you can start using right away. So if you just give me 1 second, I am going to, okay. All right, great. So I want to keep this relatively short and sweet. So I'm going to try to keep it to 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. If you do have questions, you can type them in the chat. I will say that I'm going to try to hold questions until the very end so that we can get through the content, and then I can answer your Q's and give you some A's. So my business is called Real Urban Wellness, and that incorporates my health counseling practice plus my distribution of essential oils. And so what we're talking about today is a very specific brand that I use, and there's a very good reason why I've chosen this brand, and we'll talk a little bit more at the end. But I want to give you the good content on what essential oils are and why they're useful. So why essential oils for love? So essential oils are basically natural aromatic compounds. They come from the stem, bark, roots, buds, flowers, leaves of plants and trees and flowers. So we can use them therapeutically in our bodies for both emotional and physical benefit. So why specifically essential oils for love? Essential oils are the fastest way to affect our mood. So when you use an essential oil, the therapeutic aroma enters the olfactory system of the nose, and it travels to the limbic system. So you smell something, it goes through your nostrils, there's an interaction in the olfactory bulb, then it travels up through the limbic system to the amygdala. And that's the center of the brain that manages mood and emotions. So within 22 seconds of smelling something, the molecules reach your brain. So you can uplift your mood and get in the mood in just moments. So that's pretty empowering to think that if you are feeling frustrated or sad or resentful or angry or stressed out, that rather than sitting with those emotions and not really having an option, you can take an essential oil, and within a few seconds, under 30 seconds, you can have a chemical reaction in your brain that could alter or uplift your mood. So it's pretty exciting to know that we have some of these other alternatives, because I remember being young and in my 20s and very angsty and, juggling mood imbalances and not really having options to try other than, over the counter or sometimes prescription things. And it's not to say that essential oils are cures for any of the mood imbalances that we might be suffering from, but they can give us some support. They're basically just natural plant-based therapy. And so we can use them as support. Okay, so let's talk about the top 6 oils that you can use for love and passion. The first is one of my favorites, and ironically, I was not a huge fan of this one at first, geranium. It's the oil of love and trust. And so geranium is a flower. And this particular oil, I love to dilute with some fractionated coconut oil, which is the carrier oil of choice that I use. I dilute it and I put it over my heart chakra. And I love to do this before I have to give a presentation, actually just before I got on this webinar. I put some over my heart chakra. It really is very expansive. It encourages emotional honesty. It fosters receptivity to love. It helps to soothe a broken heart and assists in reopening the heart so we can make ourselves available for new love possibilities. So geranium can be a little strong. It's very concentrated, very potent. So I definitely recommend diluting it before using it on your skin. And I also recommend diluting it if you're gonna add it to a diffuser, for instance. You may wanna add another oil to kind of counterbalance the geranium aroma. Some people absolutely love geranium and just wear it as a perfume. One of my dear friends does that and she smells amazing. But geranium as a perfume for me is a little strong. So you'll notice when you start using oils that everyone is a little bit different. Everyone has a little bit of a different chemical profile in their body. So the way they react to essential oils, both smell and physically, is going to be a little different. So there may be an oil that you absolutely love that your friend is like, whoa, no thanks. I'm not ready for that. One thing I will say though is the oils that I find I have the most negative reaction towards and the most positive reaction towards are typically both oils that I need very badly, but my emotional or physical body may not be quite ready for it yet. So I think that it's something to take note of. If you smell geranium and you're like, never going to use that, just notice that emotionally it's the oil of love and trust. So is there an area of your life where you're resisting or maybe blocked to love and trust? Because geranium may be something that you want to start creeping into your routine by adding maybe one drop to the diffuser with a couple of other oils that you do love, so that slowly but surely over time you become more receptive to the energy of geranium. I had this experience with an oil called cilantro. Everybody knows cilantro. It's very often used in guacamole, which is one of my favorite things on the planet. But when I first smelled cilantro, I thought I was going to throw up. I'm not a big cilantro fan. And I found that the more that I have worked on my emotional life and I've worked on using cilantro being the oil of releasing control. I'm totally type A, so it's not surprising that cilantro is not my favorite. But over time, I've been able to use it and actually really tolerate the smell. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I'm neutral about it. So I feel like that has been big progress for me. Okay, so geranium is the #1 oil on this list. Second is bergamot. This is the oil of self-acceptance. And so in order to be able to love others, we really need to start with accepting and loving ourselves. And so bergamot, you probably recognize if you've ever had a cup of Earl Grey tea. It is the citrus that helps to give Earl Grey that unique flavor. It relieves feelings of despair. It cleanses limiting beliefs. So we may think, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough. Any of these things that block us from really accepting love into our lives. It awakens the soul to hope and reignites optimism and confidence. So bergamot is a really lovely one to add to your diffuser during the day if you just need a little bit more of a boost to your mood. I also create this empowerment blend. So I actually put this on also before I started this webinar. The empowerment blend consists of bergamot, the oil of self-acceptance, cassia, the oil of self-assurance, and ginger, the oil of empowerment. Now, cassia and ginger are pretty spicy, so if you're going to put those into a blend, you want to make sure you're definitely diluting it with the coconut oil so that you don't have any skin sensitivity. But I mix that up. I put it in a 10 milliliter roller bottle, and you can get those on a website called Aroma Tools. It's aromatools.com. They sell them in purple and blue and clear and amber. I prefer the darker one, the tinted ones, just so you can prevent the sunlight from damaging the therapeutic nature of your oils. But once it's diluted in your roller bottle, you can just roll it right over the solar chakra. So I roll it right over my power center, and it really does give me a sense of feeling more grounded and centered in myself. So that is bergamot. And both geranium and bergamot you can take internally. Geranium probably tastes a little funky internally. Bergamot, however, is quite nice. If you wanted to make your own Earl Grey tea, decaffeinated Earl Grey tea at home, you could add a little bergamot to that. One thing I will say about bergamot also is if you are going to put bergamot on your chest or your arms or anything that's going to have direct contact with the sun, You want to make sure absolutely that you, when you put that on, you wait 12 hours before you go into direct sunlight, because direct sunlight could make you photosensitive. Any citrus oils like bergamot, lime, lemon, grapefruit, any of those can make you burn faster. So if you're going to use bergamot in the morning, just don't go in direct sunlight for 12 hours. So if you're going to use bergamot, it's better to put it in an area that's not going to see the sun, or use it at night. Okay, patchouli, the oil of physicality. So you might recognize patchouli as sort of the hippie smell. It was very popular in the 60s, and it's actually not very surprising because the 60s was the era of free love. So if we're talking about using oils for love, the oil of physicality would fit right into that. So it supports us in becoming fully present in our physical body. It encourages groundedness. It calms fear and nervous tension and assists in releasing judgments. So what I love about patchouli is that it is quite a strong smell. So at first, you know, if you have ever smelled patchouli before, I would say 85% of the time that patchouli has been synthetic. So you may have had an adverse reaction or just a strong reaction to it. When I first smelled this patchouli, I was actually really pleasantly surprised at how much earthier it smelled and less perfumey. I really love putting it in my bath at night. So I'll add it to my lavender oil. I might drop in some clary sage. But patchouli is amazing in the bath because your whole body is in the bath, and it supports you becoming grounded and present in your body, and it calms fear. So a lot of times we have trouble falling asleep at night because our minds are just overactive and we're replaying everything that happened during the day. Next is cinnamon, the oil of sexual harmony. Now, cinnamon is a spicy one, so you want to be really careful about this, putting it directly on your skin. Definitely dilute it. If you try to eat the cinnamon oil, you absolutely can, but if you put it directly on your tongue, it's probably going to be a little unpleasant. It's going to be strong. So if you're using cinnamon, you probably want to mix it into something else. Like you could add it to a smoothie, or you could put it a little bit into your yogurt or your oatmeal or whatever it is that you like to eat in the morning. You could put it into chia seed pudding. So if you're going to use it topically, some people like to use it as a perfume. It's also a known aphrodisiac. So it supports the reproductive system, nurtures healthy sexuality, invites honesty and vulnerability, and encourages the soul to let go of control. So that's a really lovely way to incorporate cinnamon, is to be able to just allow yourself to be in the moment. You're using your patchouli oil to be present and present in your physical body and present in the moment and grounded, and then allow cinnamon to just really let go of any expectations or things that might be holding you back from really being vulnerable. Okay, next, whisper, the oil of femininity. So this oil is not just for women. So even though it is the oil of femininity, it can soften over masculine energy. So if you have someone in your life who's a little alpha, whether that's a man or a woman or a dog, you can use the oils on dogs. Even you definitely want to dilute before you put on your dog, because if you imagine one drop is good for an adult person, for a tiny being, you need a much, much less. But if you have any overly masculine energy in your life, the Whisper blend can help to balance that out. It encourages letting down tough exterior and balances by reconnecting with the feminine side. So feminine is just receiving. So if we are going to be in a place of receiving, we want to help to encourage our feminine balance. If the love in your life, the alpha in your life, is not open to wearing the Whisper oil, you can wear it and they will benefit through osmosis, literally. So because you are wearing it, they're going to smell it. It's going to go through their nose, to their olfactory bulb, up to their amygdala, and they're going to have a chemical reaction. So you're sort of like a spiritual ninja. They don't even know what you're doing to them. You're just helping to balance them by wearing it yourself. And I will say, anytime I break this out in a class or a party or wherever I am, people go nuts over this. The women love it. So it's very light. It does have a very feminine smell. It's a little musky. And people love to wear this just even as a perfume, but you can also use it in your diffuser. This is not one that you would take internally. It's for external use only, or aromatic use. And then finally, we have Passion, the inspiring blend. So this is a kind of an obvious one to be using for love. Passion encourages play and spontaneity. It inspires one to face fears and take risks, and reminds us to use creativity and imagination. So I will say that when I feel passionate about the things that I'm doing in my life, when I feel passionate about my work, and I feel passionate about my home and my friendships, all the other passion in my life falls into place. So it's much easier to connect with love passion when I'm feeling like I'm following my true life's passion. So you can use passion for obviously romantic love, or you can even use it just for your own creativity and passion for whatever career you have or project that you're working on. I love wearing this as a perfume. I think it smells amazing. It smells like gorgeous chocolate tea. I just am obsessed with it. And I'm actually diffusing it right now in my diffuser. So definitely love the passion blend for sure. Now, bonus oils. So a couple of other oils I recommend: jasmine, which is the oil of sexual purity and balance. It encourages safety within intimate relationships, inspires honor and respect, and balances sexual energy. Jasmine is gorgeous. I would say it's probably, if not my number one, in the top 5 favorite oils. So jasmine actually is in the Whisper blend and also in the Passion blend. So if you aren't able to get your hands on a full bottle of jasmine, you're getting it through the Whisper and the Rose blend. The Whisper and the Passion blend. Rose is next. This is the oil of divine love. So it encourages powerful healing of the heart, invites one to experience unconditional love of the divine, and teaches one to open the heart to receive love. So rose oil is actually the highest frequency of vibration of any oil on the planet. So rose is extremely powerful. I had a friend tell me a story. She uses essential oils, and the first time she ever used rose oil, she put it directly over her heart. I don't think she even diluted it. She put 1 drop over her heart. She immediately threw up. Now, this might sound a little crazy or a little scary, but it was so emotionally cleansing that she had a physical response to it. And now she uses rose, and she's been able to work through a lot of that emotional baggage or intensity through other means, not just using essential oils, but using oils as a support system. And so now she can use rose freely. So the first time I used rose, I was like, get my bucket close. I don't know if I'm going to throw up. Did not throw up. It was very intense. I think I did actually shed some tears though. So it's such a gorgeous, beautiful oil as well. You can combine jasmine and rose. I will say that if you're looking to get your hands on jasmine and rose, with the company that I use, they don't sell it. You can only earn it. So rose at retail price would be something like $400 for a 5 milliliter bottle, because it takes 1 million rose petals to make a 30 milliliter bottle of oil. So number one, it's not really sustainable to make pure rose oil. You could probably find rose oil on the market, but I don't know that it would be as pure as what this particular brand creates. So if you're using rose, you really don't need very much, probably less than 1 drop. You could get a 10 milliliter roller bottle and put 1 or 2 drops of rose and the rest coconut oil, and you're still going to have a very powerful experience with that rose. So rose retails about $400, and then jasmine is about $200. So they don't sell them. But if you're curious, you want to get your hands on them and you want to know how to do it, just send me an email at amanda@realurbanwellness.com. It's amanda@realurbanwellness.com, and I can explain to you how you can earn it for free. Okay, my super secret love blend. Now, feel free to take a picture of this. If you're looking at this on your phone, take a screenshot. I recommend putting this combination of oils in a 10 milliliter bottle, a roller bottle. So you wouldn't want to put all of this in the diffuser at once or directly on your skin. This is supposed to be diluted in a roller bottle. So you can do 15 drops of bergamot, 10 of whisper, 5 of patchouli, 2 of geranium, 1 of cinnamon, and you fill the rest with FCO, and that's short for fractionated coconut oil. And for those of you that are curious about fractionated coconut oil, it's coconut oil with some of the fatty acid chains extracted. So it's liquid at all temperatures. It's odorless, so you don't smell like coconuts when you use it, and it's colorless. So it's something that I like to use because it just absorbs into the skin really quickly. It doesn't leave an oily residue. It doesn't have any nutritional value, so you wouldn't take it internally, but you can absolutely use it as a topical carrier oil. So you combine these, put the drops of the essential oil in first into the roller bottle, and then fill the rest up with the coconut oil. Put the roller cap on, shake it up, and then you can put that on your pulse points, behind your ears, back of the neck. Depending on how you want to use it, you can even use it as a personal lubricant. Just note that cinnamon is a little bit spicy, so definitely make sure you're diluting it properly. And keep in mind this, essential oils don't have to be an exact science. I am not one for recipes. I just experiment with stuff. Even when I'm cooking, I just like throw things in a pot and I'm like, that's probably going to be good, right? I don't measure things very exactly. So if you're making this blend and you're like, I really would love to have more geranium in there, go for it. Whatever kind of speaks to you, great. If you are strict by the book recipe, awesome. I did test this out. I did exactly this many drops and it smells awesome. So whatever works for you, feel free to experiment. Okay, all essential oils are not created equal. Only use rigorously tested essential oil brands. So what I think is amazing is that essential oils are starting to become mainstream. People are learning about them. You can buy essential oils at Best Buy. I will say that it is very dangerous to buy your essential oils at Best Buy. Even though you think, oh, this smells good and I'm not gonna eat it, I'm just gonna put it on my skin. Your skin is the largest organ in your body and it absorbs everything. Your pores are like teeny tiny little mouths. So anything you put on your skin goes inside of you. And again, even if you're just putting it in your diffuser, you smell something and within 22 seconds, it's having a reaction in your brain. So you don't want it to be synthetic, that's for sure. And you want to make sure that your oils are not cut with anything else, that there's no preservatives or chemicals or pesticides in your oils. So you want to make sure that you do research on your oils and that you only use oils that have been rigorously tested and not just by the company, that they've been tested by a third party that's completely unbiased. Because if it's only tested by the company, it's very easy for them to say like, yeah, our oils are amazing. But if they're tested by another company who's testing everybody's oils, then they're going to be completely objective about whether doTERRA's oils match up. Okay, purity and potency are critical to experience the desired effect. So you want to make sure that everything that you're using is both pure and potent. The purity means that it's completely unadulterated, and the potency means it has the right chemical profile to make sure that you're getting a benefit, that you are going to have the expected emotional or physical benefit. Because again, you might buy an oil from Best Buy and you use it and you're like, I thought this oil was good for headaches or head tension and nothing's happening. Well, it could be that it's just not the right grade of oil. So even though it's, peppermint from Best Buy and it's not helping with your head tension, it could just be that it's because of the potency of that particular oil. And then to ensure safety and purity, always get your oils through someone you trust. So you might see oils on third-party sites, you might see them on Amazon or eBay. To make sure that you are getting the actual oil, whatever it says on the label of that bottle, to ensure that it is what it says it is, make sure you get it through someone you trust and that they are making sure your oils ship directly from the company to your home. And so this is, I've had instances where people have had issues. So I just want to make sure that you stay safe, especially if you're going to be taking your oils internally. I teach people how to use essential oils for natural self-care and emotional well-being. This has become a huge passion of mine, primarily because of the benefits that I've experienced in my life. I've always been on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, and I feel so much more grounded and balanced, more so than I ever have before. My physical well-being is at top notch. A lot of the improvements that I've experienced in my life are connected to skin improvements, energy, sleep, digestion. So oils can be used emotionally. Absolutely. That's probably the most common way that people know about oils from emotional aromatherapy. But you can absolutely use oils for physical benefit as well. So if you're curious to learn more, email me at amanda@realurbanwellness.com. I'm offering everyone who listened to this webinar a free essential oils coaching session. So you get me for 60 minutes for free. I will walk you through all the oils that are good for your top 3 health goals. So whether you want better sleep, you want better skin, you want to manage weight, you want to balance your moods, minimize stress. Maybe it's someone in your life, a family member or a loved one or someone at work, whatever it is, whatever goals that you have, I will help you troubleshoot those and help you come up with a 90-day wellness plan that you can start incorporating into your life. And because of my health counseling practice, I may make suggestions beyond just essential oils, but you'll walk away with a really clear plan of how to start taking care of yourself naturally, safely, and effectively. So please feel free to email me. That's amanda@realurbanwellness.com. And just mention that you listened to this webinar and you want to get more information, and I'd be happy to share that with you. So I want to thank you for spending your time today, Monday, February 13th, 2017, the day before Valentine's Day, for spending some time on self-care and education, because in order for us to be able to take care of everyone else in our lives, we have to put ourselves first. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm just going to check. No questions. Looks like there's no questions in the chat. So if you don't have any questions, again, feel free to email me if any questions pop up after we end this webinar. If you do have a question, feel free to pop it in the chat box now. Otherwise, I am going to end the webinar. It's about 2:26, so we kept it under 30 minutes. Thank you so much again for being here and spending your time, and I will talk to you later. Take care.